I think the last thing I remember saying was, "We're all gonna die," and I was screaming nonstop for a couple of minutes because I was terrified. Marie, were you terrified as well?
I was shaking in my booties. And I have a history of anxiety, so I don't know what convinced me to do this.
What we're talking about is skydiving, jumping out of a perfectly good plane and just plummeting towards the earth. And, some people have this as a bucket list. Some people like, well, I'll be cool if I do it. And some people, it's a vacation idea.
I don't, those people would be weird. And I would, well, I'm not saying I'm sane, but some people do this for fun, for sure.
It is a leap of faith. It is a vacation idea. So that's why it ties into this edition of Voca Vacay. That's Marie over there.
That's Frank.
And we're going to start Voca Vacay right now.
Prepare yourself for the bestest, amazingest, and overall super duperest travel program in the history of ever. Vacation like it's your job and live vicariously through yourself. It's time now for Voca Vacay.
Okay, let's get right to it, and let's talk about this from the emotional standpoint of skydiving, because we have skydived. What is skydived? Skydove.
We went skydiving.
That's wow, someone took an English class. So yeah, we went skydiving once. And,
I am smart. SMRT.
and let me point out, first of all, there's a whole myriad of emotions to go through. It is scary. It is terrifying. I have not been this emotionally worked up since I saw the wire hanger scene in Mommy Dearest. I was just like, what is going on? No! It's that bad. It really is over the top.
It's pretty bad. And also the fact that you just compared it to that film and that scene just cracks me up. And the fact that you used the word myriad, another good crossword
Oh
word.
my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
I'm getting worked up just talking about it. So here's the deal.
I had to bring you back down.
You know what brings me back down is math. Cold, hard math, I tells you. Math, I tells you. You can't make fun with math. So before we get into skydiving and the emotional and basically relate our experiences, let's talk about whether it's safe or not, because it's always the first question is, are you going to jump out of the plane and the thing's not going to open and you're going to hit the earth, or the earth's going to hit you, however it works, because, gravity. So we're going to talk about that, and there's actually an organization that tracks these things.
That's perfect.
It is called the United States Parachute Association.
I wish I would have known this the night before, when we spent 12 hours, the day and the night before, spending like 12 hours going over whether or not this was safe, if we should do it. I should have just Googled it. Like, I should have just been like, and then I would have found this website.
Yeah. It tells you all here are the numbers. So in case you're wondering about, is it safe? Chances you're in more danger driving over to the parachute facility than you are actually jumping out of the plane.
Of course. They always say that as a statistic, though.
Yeah.
Because I used to be like, I'm afraid of flying. And people be like, there's more car accidents every year than there are plane wrecks. And I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
So, okay, I believe that, but still, it doesn't make me feel any better.
No.
But yeah, it's a good place to start.
But here's what the United States Parachute Association, we'll call them the USPA from now on. In 2018, that's the most recent year in which they have the data available. There were 13 fatal skydiving accidents. 13 out of 3.3 million jumps.
That is really low.
It is one. Here's the math, because I know how to use the divide function on my calculator. That is one fatality for every 253,669 jumps.
Wow.
Now, here's the thing. You think that is a ratio? Check this out. Tandem skydiving, and that's what you're going to do. If you jump out of a plane, you're going to have a buddy, and he's going to know what the hell he's doing. So the tandem skydiving record is even better. It's one student fatality for every 500,000 jumps, and that's over the past decade.
Math is power.
So you're going to be fairly safe. You can be trepidatious, you can be scared, you can be a-fearing. All these are perfectly valid emotions.
I was all of those.
Yeah. Let's describe. So we're doing this, and we wind up going to this. We go to a location. These are called drop zones, by the way.
Yeah.
Parachutes there. It's a designated drop zone. And we go to the drop zone, and we're actually there the day before.
Yes, and the reason why we go, it's not like we were like, hey, let's challenge ourselves mentally and physically.
No.
And just go try and do this like a random idea or thought. No, we were going to support a military event.
Yes.
And so there were military guys there that do this for a living. Mm-hmm. And so it was this like, they were raising money for this thing, and we went. And so that's how we happened upon it. And in fact, had they not been doing skydiving, we would have still gone to like this event. But like, since they were doing it, we got immersed in this, like, would we do it? Will we do it? Are we going to do it?
And it is not peer pressure. Don't get me wrong, because every single one of these guys, these are like the special force. These guys do push-ups. Okay, they're these guys.
Are they paratroopers?
They are paratrooper. Yes.
Yeah.
They're those guys. That's who we got to dive with.
Yeah.
And the thing that happens is that every time we talk to them, and these guys are veterans of many, many dives, they would say things like, oh, it's not a big deal. But they always say, but you don't have to do it. If you're not comfortable, no pressure. You don't have to do it. We're just glad that you're out here to support this cause.
Which, when someone says, you don't have to do this, makes me want to go, do I want to do this?
Yeah, all the cool kids are doing it.
Cool kids are doing it. Yeah, it's like, and so then I got more inquisitive, and then I wanted more knowledges.
Yes.
And then I wanted to make an informed decision, because I've said to you, one of the things I said to you, and this is the God's honest truth. When we first met, I said one of the things I would never do was skydive. And you looked at me and said, oh my gosh, me too.
Yeah, that's on my list. I will never do this.
We instantly bonded over not doing this.
And then we wound up doing it anyway. You're a liar. Web of lies is the entire fabric of our relationship. How dare you?
So
you hoodwinked me.
It was interesting, because the more I started getting information, the more I started going, well, hold on. Maybe if I was going to do this, it would be with these guys.
Yeah, because, and here's the deal. We're not going to disparage any parachuting, paratrooping, skydiving professional.
Yeah.
No, whoever you find, if it's a guy out of Pensacola, if there's a guy out of Cabo Wabo, wherever it is, that's fine.
Yeah.
It's just for my personal security, my mental factor, these guys jump all the time.
Yeah.
And they jump with military gear and, bombs and guns and all this stuff. And it's like, this is their job all the time.
Yeah.
And they do like sit-ups and push-ups. These guys are in shape. So if you're going to trust somebody, it's like, I'll take Captain America over here, because this guy's like, yeah, I'll take you up. You'll be safe. It's like, yeah, I trust him. I would not trust me for a skydive. You see this.
Well, one of the things so that's interesting, because one of the things that actually, one of the stats, or like, part of the information they were giving us, one of the things that actually made me change my mind was when they were telling us about, this is from 10,000 feet.
Yeah.
They jump from 1,000 feet sometimes.
Yeah.
Into enemy territory.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, you would know how to fix something quickly and troubleshoot on the fly.
Yeah, I know they
literally on the fly. Did you like that?
I know they said 3,000. It's low. It could be 1,000.
Okay, it might have been 3,000. You're right.
But it is low. It's like, because as soon as you fall, you're there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, that would give us so much more time
to panic and scream all the way down.
And there's a backup chute, and like, so what was it for you though? Because that was really sort of that's what sticks out to me about being like helping be the main deciding factor.
The main deciding factor for me, honestly, was that so we go to bed the night before, and nothing has been resolved except we're absolutely no way on God's green earth are we going to do this.
Like,
it is not going. I was violent. I was like, well, I'm never going to jump out of a plane.
Like, I literally
ever.
I remember being like, okay, so since we're not doing this, what are we going to do? We're hanging out with some folks,
we're hanging out with the guys, we're having
lunch,
I'm like,
whatever. Well, I'm gonna have a few cocktails, relax, because I'm not doing anything in the morning.
Oh, I'm clearly not jumping out of an airplane.
My evening was set.
Oh yeah, it's all good. I'm just nice, relaxed, and finally we got that over with. Okay, we go to bed, we wake up, we go back to the drop zone. We're so we're staying off site, just a couple miles away.
We were kind of like camping.
Yeah, no big deal.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, now let's go back to the drop zone. Go back to the drop zone, and I don't know what made me do it. But I was sitting there, and I had a credit card just literally burning a hole in my pocket.
But it was for charity.
It was for charity. And
Sure.
It's like, well, I want to support. I want to represent also. And I don't think you were with me when I did this.
What did you do?
When I actually paid the guy.
Oh, no, I wasn't.
Yeah, I think what happened, because there's various tents that they have out on the tarmac. So I was like, okay, I'll just kind of wander over and all that. And I was just kind of looking around, and one of these guys who's just in incredible shape, and this guy looks like he's skydived a billion times.
Sure.
He's like, so you jumped in there? I was like, yep. That was it. That was it. My reflex to not look like a sissy in front of the American, Federation of Armed Forces here was, are you? Yes, sir, I am. I'm proud to do it. America.
Sign me up. So yeah, because the day before we had probably watched. Well, how many do you think?
Oh, people jumping out?
Yeah, how many? Like a physical number?
Gosh.
Like was it 25 or 30?
It's a couple dozen. Yeah.
Oh,
people
yeah.
Whee, they're coming down and they're landing right in front of you.
Oh yeah.
It's like, you're 100 yards away or 50 yards away, whatever.
Yeah.
They're right. You see the guys. And it's like, oh, okay. So this is no big. And the thing is, it's routine for them. I think what made me turn the corner on this was the routineness of it, because they're like, guy, we're going to do this like, I'm going to jump 20 times this weekend myself.
Sure.
No big deal. Okay, fine. So I wind up, I have a credit card. I just go, whoop, swipe it. And the guy's like, do you? It's like, yeah, me and the little lady, I'll go tell her. He's like, all right, go do it. So
let me remind you, we
Yes.
weren't married yet.
Oh.
So there was no will in place. There was no what's mine is yours. If one of us perishes, you're on your own, mister. I'm on my own. No protection for me.
Let me get on LegalZoom immediately and rectify that, my dear.
So yeah, I mean,
We were dating.
we were.
Oh.
Now see, that kind of makes it romantic though.
We're all gonna die.
Because if you would have jumped out and proposed, or like, had you proposed? Maybe you'd already.
No, I had not proposed yet.
We were in the infancy of our loving relationship.
And look at us now.
The infancy of our torrid affair.
Nothing torrid about us. I find myself rather lackluster and boring.
Well, except for when you jump out of a plane.
Okay, so here's what.
That immediately gives you street cred now. You're like, I've jumped out of a plane. I am not boring. Anyway.
And I love on Facebook whenever you see the bucket list of people saying, what of these things have you done? Jumped out of a plane. I'm like, yeah, check it off the list. Not a problem. Have you done that? Yeah, did that. Not a problem. The list gets longer. So
we'll post pictures.
Oh, yeah. In case you think we're pulling your leg about this, vocavacay.com, you'll see all the action photos of us just going, yeah, we got pictures, got the street cred.
Yeah.
So pay the guy, come back, and I tell my lovely and talented girlfriend at the time, you were a girlfriend. I tell, it's like, hey, we're going skydiving.
I believe I said, what? What?
And what I misunderstood when I signed us up for it was that I thought we went at the same time. I thought we were in the same plane and be like a romantic, we're going to hold hands and look at each other fondly as we plummet towards the planet. And it'll be so nice and romantic. No. They're
right.
Because later on it's like, okay, you guys are going up there. It's like two jumps before you.
Yeah.
And then you guys are all set up. So like, okay, great. So we go over to the parachute rigging place.
And that's where they teach you all the stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. They rig you up and they tell you, don't do this.
Don't do this.
Sit like this.
Yep.
Do this.
Yep.
Okay. The specifics, clearly, I don't remember.
I do.
But it was, okay, good. Because I was so scared that I think I was just like in like survival mode where they tell me information, I take it in, I do it. It's in my brain, but now looking back, I have no idea what just happened.
Oh, I remember everything on
okay,
this.
Good.
It is welded into my mind like a Vulcan mind grip. It's just like, now do this or you'll just screw it up for everybody. I'm like, okay, I'll make this happen.
But I did think we were going up at the same time as well.
So did I.
Yeah.
Until we got to the rigging place and they said, okay, parachute. And here's the deal. And this is one of those embarrassing things in life. Just putting it out there. They need to know, like, how much I don't know if it's how much you weigh, but it's like they kind of need to know your dimensions.
Yeah.
You cannot suck in your gut here. It doesn't work. It doesn't change body mass. All right. The dimensional properties are unsustainable.
That is such a good point. Because as a girl, I'm like, they're like, how much do you weigh? And I'm like, do you want to know how much I weigh or what my scale says? Because in my mind, I weigh 20 pounds less.
You know, so. I'm still like, I am a muscular and chiseled 170. No, I've been 170 since 6th grade. So no. So anyway, so they rig you up, they strap you, and they put this thing around you, and that's where we found out we're not going at the same time. And I don't know how it came to be that I went first.
Well, I don't either, but I do know this because you went first. Literally, that's why I had to go.
Yeah.
Was because then it was like a competition. Because I was like, oh, no. You're not going to go do this and then me not do it.
Oh.
Because that would just be craziness.
Some girlfriend you would be. God.
But here's the thing. The reason why you go separately, or I believe, look, people have gone together before.
Yes.
It's just we were at a place where the planes were small.
Yeah.
That's all it was.
Yeah.
But we didn't know that.
So let's describe what the trip is like.
Yeah.
Just so if you're thinking, I want to do this. Okay, I've talked to. Okay, so here's what happens. So we get up, and by the way, just one more thing about the price. It was $190 each. That is actually a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
Because nationwide, you can go down to $99 or up to $375. That's the range. If you're in the $200 to $250 range, that's about right. Some places going to be more expensive than that because they're, different areas or whatever. It's more expensive for the city and the county fees and, what have you. But that's about right.
Yeah.
So just expect that going in. And that covers a whole bunch of stuff like, the plane, the pilot has to get paid. The guy who's holding on to you during the tandem thing, you want him to cash his check, okay? You're doing this for free, right? Don't put him in a bad mood. So what happens is they team me up with this guy he was an Australian.
Yeah.
This guy was 6 feet tall, 6'5".
Yeah.
Massively good-looking dude.
Yeah.
This guy's like, hey, mate, let's go up.
I don't remember.
You don't remember this guy?
No, I totally remember.
I love you.
I love you.
I remember this guy coming up. I was like, yeah, okay, sure.
Yeah.
And I've got Drooly McDrool over here going, oh, who's this Aussie you're going to be jumping with? Oh, yeah. Nothing intimidating about this guy. I'm still trying to suck in my gut, which does me no good here.
Honestly, he was a good-looking man,
Yeah.
But I don't really remember. Again, I don't really recall because my brain was in survival mode.
Mm-hmm.
And so looking back on, I would have to look at the pictures to really remember and decipher the day because, and we'll talk about this later because then there's the whole after jump. But so I digress.
So here's what happens. So we'll talk about the jumps, then we'll tell you about some more math. But let's talk the jumps right now because this is the fun thing. They put you up in it's a little bitty plane. I think it's like a Cessna 152, a Cessna 172. Here's the deal. It's an airplane with a high wing because you're jumping out under the wing, basically. And this to me was actually, there are two scary parts of this that were actually terrifying to me. Part one was in the plane going up. Because you're going up 10,000 feet and you're going up in a tiny little plane and you're basically just corkscrewing up the whole time.
Sames.
You keep going.
And you get
up.
Yes, it's scary.
Yeah.
I agree.
And here's the deal. We have flown, I don't know, billions and billions of miles. I don't know, a lot.
Yeah.
So flying's not a new thing for us, but this was just unnerving. And you look down, it's like the world keeps getting smaller and smaller. We have to go back down there quickly, and we're going to jump.
Well, let me say this. That was probably the number one scariest part for me as well. Mm-hmm. And it was the checking of the altimeter.
Yes.
The whole corkscrew up because every time you make another turn and you're going up, he's checking the altimeter.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here thinking it's so much further from the ground, but he's thinking we need to get higher up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. Your pilot and your jump guy are like, okay, just a few more 1,000 feet to go. It's like, up? There's more up? I have to go back down. Okay. I'll tell my experience. You tell your experience.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Because this is awesome. I love how we do this.
Yeah.
Because I went first. And here's what happens. So we get up and there's the pilot. There's me and my guy, who's the tall, burly Aussie's like, hey, be great, mate. Or that was awful. Sorry. It sounded like a koala bear trying to make a jump. And then there's this other guy who's just some dude just racking up jumps for whatever jump day he's doing. So we going up, 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 up.
So there's 3 of you in the plane aside from the pilot.
Yes.
And that's all the plane will carry.
That is it. And it was packed. It was packed at that level.
Right.
And by the way, there's no furniture. The pilot has a seat. All the other seats are gone.
Right.
You're basically just flying as cargo. So I'm like, okay. So here we go. Up, 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 up. We get to 10,000 and I'm shaking because we've gone above clouds and it's broken clouds. And it's just, these are what clouds look like from the other side. And then the guy who's with us and the other guy who's the solo jumper, he goes, we're at 10,000 feet. He goes, sounds great. And he just steps out of the plane. He just walked away. It's just like 1 second he's there. So the next second's like, where? Ah!
Yeah. Same. Yeah.
Hey, look.
Yeah. Also happened in my plane. Yeah.
To which the Aussie guy's like, hey, mate, it's our turn. We're up next. Now, let me explain tandem diving here. Because this guy, whoever you're with, the instructor, they're going to be your buddy because you are wedged in, you are strapped in and locked in and belted in. There is no separation.
Getting to know you.
I'm feeling this guy's chiseled pecs on the fatness of my back fat. It's just like, how are you breathing?
Oh my gosh.
So we're just and here's what happened. I sort of, no exaggeration. You have to sort of like shuttle, crawl, crab move because there's two of you moving in unison. And I've seen more coordination out of a couple of fat guys in a sack race, okay, than what I've got going on here. I'm like lunging.
You're like, sumo wrestlers look graceful.
Yeah, oh yeah. I feel so dainty. So I'm basically crawling around, and I've got a 200-pound Australian on my back.
Oh my God.
And the pilot's like, we're over the drop zone. You got to go. I'm like, oh, I'm going to drop. Okay, what Cirque du Soleil move do I do to get to the door? So I get to the door finally, and the Australian's right behind me. So now we're kind of like crouched standing, and there's a little step. I'm going to say there's a little step on the side of the plane. It's about the size of a postcard.
Yeah.
That you put a foot on.
Oh.
That's it.
And there's nothing underneath.
There's nothing but sky in all directions. And he goes, you have to say 1, 2, 3 banana. And on 3, you go banana, and you jump out, or you just casually fall. And what happens that you do a back bend basically as much as you can, which in my condition, it doesn't happen. I'm not bendy.
Sure.
At all. So I go, and
how was that?
I go, like that's the sound of me jumping from an airplane. So, and then you take the leap of faith. And this is where, and here's the deal. This did not faze me that much. This part I was actually okay with.
Interesting.
I just went, well, okay, because now you're going to go. And he kept saying, you can stop anytime. We can go back down. It's like, nah, Marie's down. 1, 2, 3, banana. And out you go.
You couldn't wait to get back to me.
I could not. The shortest distance to your heart is straight down. So now you're falling. And you're falling. A couple of things happen here. One, and some misconceptions that you might have from seeing the movies. And you have on little goggles because the wind is just, it's going right in your face, obviously.
Right.
A couple of misconceptions. Number one, it's not loud. Because whenever you see skydiving in movies, they're always like, hey, how far to the drops? And they're shouting back and forth. No, I'm just having a regular conversation with this guy.
Oh, yeah, that's true, too.
Yeah, it's just like, so that's a cloud. He goes, yeah, we're going to fall through that cloud. And then that's exactly what happens.
Yeah.
The other scary part for me was they pull the ripcord, parachute goes up, you're falling. When I got to within, I'm not making this up, about 300 feet of the ground. Because then it struck me that that's the ground and that's going to hurt a lot.
Yeah.
That actually freaked me out more because when you're it's like a surreal experience. You just look around. It's like, I guess I'm in the sky. And it doesn't really hit you. It doesn't hit you that there's a planet down there and it's about to merge with your body and it's bigger than you are.
Right.
So, and that was the thing. And then what you have to do is kick your legs out. And he's like, okay, just put your legs out as much as you can. Mm-hmm. So it's the opposite of the banana move. You go forward, not backward. And he'll just say, yeah, okay. And he'll just, and that was it. The end.
And I know that people, I've read or heard stories or whatever about people breaking legs when they land and landing too hard. And nobody the day before, nobody on our day, nobody had any problem with that.
No, I mean, and that's, I don't want to say you have to screw it up because look, accidents happen, falling off of bicycles. I get that.
Yeah.
So that is a possibility, but the guys we were with, because we asked about that, do you get injured and all this stuff? And they're like, no, not really.
Right.
You're fine. So anyway, so I come down and I'm expecting a warm hero's welcome. It's like, he's returned from the sky to be with me. No, I get this glary look like, okay, I guess I'm going up now, sucker. Fine. And so now, Marie, what was your experience like going up in your plane?
Well, it was all sames except, so we go up and it's the corkscrew thing and looking at the altimeter and like total panic. Like as soon as the plane takes off and I start to see the first 10, 20, 50, 100, 200 feet off the ground, I'm immediately thinking, I should turn back. I'm going against my best judgments. But then part of me is also going, Frank did it.
Yeah.
You better man up because I don't want to hear it about, well, we were going to go and we were going to go together. And well, here's the thing. And also I'm a little competitive because I'm like, you did it. I'm doing it.
No.
Yeah. So anyway, I was like torn, but I was scared. And I noticed my breathing increased and I noticed that I started to feel a little bit of a panic attack coming on, but he just was talking to me. So my experience was he was like, and cause you're corkscrewing and you're trying to figure out like how, you're going around how far you're going to go up. And he just is like, great, we're going to do this. And this is going to do this. Again, I don't remember the details, but I do recall there was a lot of shifting and maneuvering within the plane. And again, with me, there was also another guy there.
Yeah.
And he was just a solo dude. And he told some story and he was talking and they were like cutting up. And so it made me feel better. But it took my mind off of, I'm actually going to do this because of the strapping in to the guy. Like, it was like buckles and straps and it got so technical that I started like actually being like, okay, wait, that goes there, kind of being interested in it, you know? And they do this little thing like when he's checking everything and they make you get on all fours and he kind of like pulls you back and you're like, whoa, hold on a second.
You better be dating at this point.
If this was any other situation, you'd be pepper sprayed, sir. But yeah, it's like, no, I like this. Get as close as possible because you're my person now. Like, I need you. Like, you have my safety and my life in your hands. So all these things happen. We get up. It's time to drop. And so like the guy, again, the solo guy, he just, the second thing that scared me the most was the opening of the door. Because you hear everything in the plane, but when the door opens, you hear the wind rush in. Oh, and that's when I was like, no, I'm flying through the air now. Like, I was like, this is happening. So he opens the door and he's like, see ya. He's just gone. And I was like, whoa. And so my guy's like, now here's my guy knew I was a little panicked. And so, and I was honest with him. I told him, I was like, I don't think I'm going to chicken out, but I don't really feel calm. Like, I was like, this is like, I am a little panicked right now. And he was like, and maybe that's why he was talking so much too. But he was like, and the whole time it's very repetitive over and over again. 1, 2, 3 banana. Yep. 1, 2, 3 banana.
That's all you got to know.
On the ground, it was 1, 2, 3 banana. Going up, it was 1, 2, 3 banana. Okay, are you ready for 1, 2, 3 banana? We're standing at the door. My dude, our dude, goes 1, 2 banana, and then banana. And I was like, you banana too soon.
What happened to 3?
He knew it because he knew I was waiting on the 1, 2, 3 banana, and that's how he got me out of the plane. And so he pulled, like, we go on banana, we jump, and then he takes his hand and puts it on my forehead and pushes me back.
Okay.
Because I was crunching in because I was scared. And because the banana, you're supposed to bend back like a banana.
Right.
And so he had to like physically make me do it. After that, and the free fall, because I kept my eyes closed, I was like scared. After I started realizing, okay, I think look, it is what it is now. Like, it's like, you've done this. Then I opened my eyes and then I started looking around and we free falled. I don't know, what was it, for like 20 seconds
About
or something?
20 seconds.
Yeah. At the very end of the free fall, I opened my eyes and I was like, this is pretty epically cool. Then the chute opened.
Right.
And it opened and saved us, and there wasn't a malfunction. Then I really got into it. That's when I understood why people like this.
Yeah.
You have this surge of adrenaline, but you also feel terribly accomplished.
Yes.
Like, you're like, yeah, I mastered you, air. Like, it's like you just like do this thing, and then you start to look.
I can breathe it and fall through it. Boom.
That's right. Take that, air. And then you look around, you're like, this is absolutely stunning. It's beautiful. And he was like, let's go through this cloud. And then he was like, do you want to take the controls? And then like, I mean, it was literally so cool.
Yeah.
Like, and and when we landed, it was the same thing. It was like, we didn't have any problems, put your feet out and everything. But I pretty much let him do everything because I didn't want to take over the wheel and mess it up.
Yeah.
And it be my fault that I die. Yeah. I was like, no, you go right ahead, sir.
Well, no one would know, though.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Like,
but
I'll take this
know.
secret to my death.
Yeah.
I pulled the wrong thing. Now, here's the deal. You talk about falling through clouds and all stuff. That is a weird experience because you see a cloud approaching and it's like, oh, cloud. Huh.
Right.
And then you come out of the cloud. It's like, I'm out of the cloud.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's a cool thing to do.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some math because we talked about jumping at 10,000 feet.
Yes.
There's an actual math formula here about if it's a 10,000 foot drop. Here's the deal. A tandem instructor is trained to pull the ripcord at 5,000 feet. At 5,000 feet, there needs to be a parachute opening.
Sure.
Yeah, because that gives you enough time to react and, oh, that doesn't work. Then we'll do the second parachute or whatever you got to do. So
right.
5,000 feet, okay, yeah, we're going to do that. you free fall, and I did not know this till I looked this up. You free fall at the rate of 7 seconds per 1,000 feet.
Wow.
So do the math at home, if you will. We jumped at 10,000 feet.
Yep.
So that gives us 5,000 feet of free fall and 5,000 feet with the parachute open. 5,000 feet of free fall at 7 seconds per 1,000. We had, 35 seconds of free fall.
Wow.
Is what we had. If you jump at 8,000 feet, you get 21 seconds of free fall.
Wow.
So, and 8,000 is pretty much the minimum from the research we've done. 8,000 feet, that's about as low as you're going to be jumping out.
Yeah.
Because you want to have some free fall. So be sure to ask if you're going to do this, where do we jump? If you jump at 8,000 feet, you get about 21 seconds. If you jump at 10,000 feet, you get 35 seconds. And you're thinking, hey, but can we go to like 20,000 feet? The answer is no.
Right.
Because anything above 14,000 feet, you need an air tank. You need supplemental oxygen.
Do people do that?
I don't, not recreationally that I know of.
Okay.
I guess some military guys, they train like that.
Someone who is listening will know, and they will let us know.
Yeah. Seriously, let us know.
Yeah.
I have seen some go at 13,000 feet. So 13,000 feet, you've got a good 40, 45 seconds or whatever of just free fall time, which would be very cool.
Wow. Yeah.
We jumped at 10,000.
Yeah.
And there is always this nice feeling of when you're in a plane on Delta and they say, well, we're now passing 10,000 feet. We always look out the window now and go,
it's true.
Yeah, we jumped out of this.
The first couple of flights we took after this, I remember specifically leaning over to you and going, this is when we jumped.
Yeah.
And you are like, yeah.
Yeah.
We're cool.
Why we do that? So we jump from 10,000. We do it individually. I land, she lands. Huge adrenaline rush. Now let's talk about what happens after.
Oh my gosh.
Because then you can sit around and watch other people. You just go, there are moments in life where it's like, wow, that was a thing.
Yeah.
For me, this is on that very short list of just going, your adrenaline is just pulsing so much.
Yes.
And you're just saying, I'm alive.
Yes. And people will ask you, because everyone's kind of hanging out, people getting ready to go, people who are going to go again, people who are still considering it, just people there for like the charity event, whatever, small talk and everything.
Yeah.
Everyone is asking the same question all the time. Are you going to do it again? What did you think?
Yes.
Are you hooked? Like, that's really the question.
Yeah.
And so you kind of have to determine for yourself. And you hear people and they're like, I'm totally hooked. I'm doing this all the time.
Yes.
I want to take classes.
Yep.
I want to become an instructor. I'm signing up for the military. Like they're like, I'm doing this.
Yeah, you have people just like, this is it. Or then you have people just like, I'm one and done. I put it off the list.
That was me.
Yeah.
Because I was still jacked up in my adrenaline. I felt very like cool. I felt very like, yes. And like, just really super like excited still.
Yes.
But I was like, I don't think I'm going to do that again.
Yeah.
I feel good about doing it once.
I feel very good about doing it.
Yeah.
And I can say, I've totally skydiving. Yes, I've done that myself. But it's just
yeah, it didn't hook me. It's like not my go-to thing. But I understand where it could be for some people.
And we know people that have done this, repetitively.
Oh yeah, I have a friend. My friend Shane. Shout out to Shane.
Shane.
He did this for like a couple of years, over and over. And I don't know if he was working his way up to be an instructor or whatever. But here's the deal, though. Shane's also a whitewater rafting guide. He also like
he's an adrenaline guy.
He's a spelunker. He also climbs for a living. Like he is an outdoors junkie.
Right.
So like
yeah, good for him. He's a cool guy.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, but people get into this and they do it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, probably not so much. We got done with it and we're like, coming down. It's like, what do we do? So we start driving home.
And here's where some people would be like, let's have a nice quiet evening in. We had such an exciting day
let's
today.
Let's relax. Let's gather ourselves together.
Sure. Or like people that are like, let's party a little bit. Like, let's have a drink or whatever. Bourbon. Or like whatever. And then there's us.
There's a Wendy's on the way home on the side of the road. We stop off at Wendy's.
It made me incredibly hungry. I'm not going to lie.
For some reason, with the adrenaline surge and the lust for living restored, we're like, and I think, it's like you can get like the regular Baconator. I got the one that they're still, it takes them like 12 minutes to process one of these beasts. There's guys in the back in the laboratory going, he wants the special Baconator at the triple size combo biggie. I ate a massive amount of food.
It was so funny.
And I kept eating.
It hit us at the same time we were driving, and then it was like, pulling to here, over like hands over the wheel,
Wendy,
pulling
Wendy,
over,
Wendy.
pulling over.
There's a Wendy's. Go.
Yes.
Go.
I don't know what happened, but
it.
it was like, and now I shall eat everything.
Oh, but yeah, it was.
I was
shameful.
eating like a football player that just shot up on B12.
Yeah,
like it was like.
Oh, it's one of those great things where they give you like, and would you like what size? It's like whatever, what larger, bigger. No.
Yeah.
So they give me the tankard, which is the size of, I don't know, like a gallon.
Yeah.
And so you go over, and here's the mistake that Wendy's made. They gave me one of these glasses, and there's the little beverage thing over there for refills. I go over, I think I got like Dr. Pepper or something like that, just high octane.
Right.
Diet? No.
Right.
High octane. I slammed this thing down before the food even arrives. I'm just like, gimme, go.
I think it's because you get this like zest for life.
Yeah.
This like
Yeah.
zeal. Crossword words.
Okay.
And so like, you just are like, everything is good. Life is amazing.
Yes.
And everything is amazing. Everything is amazing, especially this cheeseburger.
Yeah.
Like,
If skydiving didn't kill me, the Baconator doesn't have a chance.
and I mean, I'm always usually like, well, I should get a side salad, or like I try and be healthy.
Ooh.
Oh no. I was like, I want the largest triple stack, bacon covered, triple cheese, 4 buns. Like, I'm like, just keep on stacking them. Like, I was like wimpy. I was like,
Oh, yeah.
I'll gladly pay you today for a sack full, like, or tomorrow for a sack full today. Like, I was like, oh, it was just crazy.
Yeah, I walked in as like, I'll take the carnivore platter for 8, and what will you have, dear? It was one of those days.
Oh, my
And
gosh.
I think I don't know how much money, but it's one of those where it's like 2 of us eat lunch, and it's like $40 at Wendy's because it was shameful. It was so bad, and it was so good. And finally we got home, and I think that night was probably one of the best nights of sleep in my life.
True. Me too.
Just like,
Now
we did that.
There's probably some plausible explanation for all this. Like, for one, I don't think we ate breakfast.
No.
And we probably ate dinner early the day before.
Yeah.
And because we were so immersed in this like decision-making process and then actually doing it, our brains, again, being in survival mode, we just didn't think, oh, I'm hungry right now.
Right.
So then afterwards, with the adrenaline affecting your body as well, which also makes you hungrier,
Hungry.
then you probably were like, I need food in massive quantities this second.
Yeah, it was mass quantities.
Then you go home, and when you're going to bed, your brain and everything is finally in a state of relaxation to where you probably just sleep so peacefully. I don't know. Maybe we should do this all the time because I am having, I don't sleep well. This would be really awesome for me. I'll just jump out of a plane. I'll sleep like a baby every night.
Well,
Give me cheeseburgers. I'm good to go.
I don't eat enough bacon cheeseburger, so if someone's like, well, you can have bacon cheeseburger, you got to jump out of a plane. Okay, now we have a totally different conversation. Because now I'm interested. Okay. So
my gosh.
You would think that falling towards a planet, as we did,
Yeah.
not together, but on back to back, you would think that would mean that we will now forever be in harmony. We have done this together. What was that look for?
Lies. Lies.
So the whole thing is, we'll be together forever, and everything. We'll never disagree. Like on a vacation, we'll never disagree again. You'd be wrong.
Yeah.
You're so wrong.
Yeah.
If you ever thought that once you did something like this, that you would never disagree ever again, you'd never disagree through your travel partner. Oh, if you want to bicker on a vacay, we've got something we'll talk about. It is Monica and Joey. Let's hash this out right now.
It's game on. It's time for Monica versus Joey.
Once again, the people are different. And sometimes, no. Yeah. Okay. People are they're wired differently. And sometimes the Monica and Joey discussion is basically how the same subject like skydiving will be approached totally differently by 2 different people. I'll be Joey, you'll be Monica. Fine. When I did the skydiving thing, I told the guy, and you have the option to, they can videotape and take pictures and all this stuff. And they can even do I don't want to say loops, but you can do different moves in the air and all this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be like, I will take the Joey in the situation. I just want to get down now. I want to get down. The guy's like, well, if you want to spin around, also if you want to document the experience and all this stuff. No, I just want to get down. Down. I think I just told I just want, and he goes, okay, so I just want to get down. So I don't know if Joey would do this, but it's just just down, down. That's all I want to do.
It's point A to point B
We
for
can do
Joey.
barrel rolls and all this stuff. Yeah, it's very down.
I
All
am
want to do.
the exact opposite because looking back, if I were to do this again, I would want all the things. Like I would want to be like with all the buckles and all of the latches. I'd want GoPros on all of them. I'd want like a 360 degree camera.
No.
I'd want like a task cam.
No.
I'd want like audio. I'd want like it all, because now I'm like, man, I probably should have done something. And that's why this is very popular. These are things people get when they go through like a private company.
Sure.
Is they get like someone that they do a bunch of video and stuff.
Yeah.
And they jump and they film you while you're jumping.
Never.
And now I'm like, oh my gosh, this would be something to show the grandkids. Well, or maybe not. Don't put any ideas in their heads. But like, but yeah, like I would want all the things, and I would want to do all the things, because I didn't do all the things, because I was like, not sort of like, like total Joey, I just want to get down. I just was like, it was overwhelming to process everything. So I just wanted to like do it.
Look back and just go, okay.
I did it.
And have
now,
some video documentation.
I do want to like do like flips and like stuff. I mean, that would be super cool, because here's the thing. I am not some waifish little,
you're dainty.
I'm an actual woman. And so like in the air though,
Where'd
you're like,
that voice come from?
I don't know, but you're like, can we hear a little bit of that later? But no, like
I'm manly too. Hello.
But no, like in air, you're weightless. It's like, I can do backflips and stuff now. Like, I'm flexible.
And you would document with GoPros.
Yeah.
See, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I'm just, no one wants to see me screaming like a baby the whole way down.
Well, and also, again, the Monica stance is, how do you get more bang for your buck? And it's like, you're paying for this. So it's like, you better take me on all the things. Like, do all the thrills. Like, cartwheels, backflips.
Yeah,
like,
and see, you're the kind of person at Disneyland. You'll be like, I'm gonna go on all the rides and this and all the, and I'm like, Mr. Toad's teacups is stretching it for me. I'm good. Stop now. So agree to disagree.
Sure.
I just feel like I just want to get down. If you just want to do all of the little the bonus stuff. Yeah. Okay, that's absolutely fine, even though you might be wrong. Here's what you need to do. If we have now convinced you this is something you might want to look at, you know what? We would not just send you away and say, hey, check out skydiving. No. We're going to tell you how to do it and where to go and what to look at in advance. Time now for this episode's Travel Nugget.
Ooh, I like a good travel nugget.
Upgrade my travel brain. I like a good nugget too. I like when people share with me what they've done, and so I think that's important that we do as well with our listeners and people who are watching our YouTube video. Like, you guys, if we find something cool, we should share it, and we want to share it.
Absolutely, because we say live vicariously through yourself. It's kind of the tagline here. Yeah. But we want you to have fun, but we want you to do it from a place of knowledge.
Yeah.
Don't just go and say skydiving. What do I have to do? And how do we make this happen? So we try to step through these processes with you, and one of those means you've got to check out a couple of good websites. There's a lot of websites on this. We check out the obvious one, skydiving.com. Skydiving.com. It talks about the factors that, like, things like what you're paying for, like the flight and the fuel and the pilot and all this stuff. And I did not know this. Some days are more expensive than others.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
Yeah, it's so wild. Check this out. If you go on a weekday, tends to be cheaper than the weekend.
Okay.
If it is a perfectly sunny day, chances are you're going to pay more money.
Oh my gosh.
If it's cloudy, not rain, not rain. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
But if there's a couple of clouds in the sky, chances are you're going to save a couple of bucks, because not that many people want to go on a cloudy day.
That totally makes sense.
Yeah. But you will pay a premium for things like, if you say, I won't go 4th of July.
Oh, yeah.
That's an expensive day. If you want to time it out perfectly so you fall at sunset.
Oh my gosh.
That's a premium.
Okay, that's another Monica thing.
Yeah.
Because I would like to do that too, like pick a perfect time to land and like see the perfect
it's
atmosphere.
like you fall at sunset
and landscape
through the beautiful stratospheric mesotomic whatever it is.
Oh my God.
But cool. It's like, no, I'm just like, but if you want to save a couple bucks and be Joey, hey, I'll go on a cloudy day. I don't care. I just want to get it done.
Yeah, sure.
So there are things you can go, and so we've scoured the internet to find this information, and basically here's the deal. Cloudy skies tend to be cheaper. Weekdays tend to be cheaper. But if you're looking at price alone, don't haggle.
Oh.
But just,
I agree.
Here's the deal. If you call and ask for a discount, just go, and here's a really good strategy that we've found out about. You can call the skydiving people. Let's say it's a cloudy day, and just ask them, "Hey, is anyone going up today?
Yeah.
Are you doing tandem jumps today? What's the rate today?"
Yeah.
If they tell you and they go, "Okay, that's cool." First thing, call them up. You're not going to get a discount on the internet. Okay, just call them up.
Yeah.
They're used to getting phone calls all the time. The weather changes all the time. And some people might just expect a sunny day and they look, it's like, oh, there's a couple of clouds. I am forlorn. And they don't do it. You can just go ahead and take their spot, and they're perfectly cool with this.
That is so cool. I had no idea you could like do that. It's kind of like going to a cruise at the last minute before they leave, and they have rooms they just want to sell.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, that makes total sense.
Yeah. The skydivers, they're just sitting around. They might get a couple jumps in on their own, but they're like, yeah, if you want to come up and, they'll make a couple of bucks or whatever, sure. But if you... One thing is that you just want to be sure that you're dealing with some reputable people. Everyone's licensed. Go to their website, check them out, get the feel for it first. You need to have a comfort factor. and I certainly had a comfort factor. It's like, okay, these guys, you're literally trusting them with your life, but read the statistics, know what you're getting into. It's like, yeah, you should be absolutely fine.
And your point about not haggling is so good.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd want to jump with the person that would take bottom dollar.
Yeah. I'll take it for $12. No, I'll pay more.
Well,
it's okay.
Here's the thing. I think the guy that we went with, there are levels, aren't there, of like level 1 instructor, level 2, like master,
proficiency, and just how many jumps you've done and the training you've had.
There.
Yeah. Our guy's like, I've jumped like 7,000 times or some crazy number like that.
Yeah.
That's about 6,999 more than I have. So yes, I mean after my jump, because before that it's 7,000 to nothing. But yeah, just check it out. Go online, check it out, and make some calls. I think you'll be happy with it.
Cool.
If you're going to do it sometime, right?
Yeah.
That's called jumping out of a perfectly good airplane. While we're on the internet, the other thing we do is that, as always, part of our diligence here on Voca Vacay, which is the bestest, super duperest program ever, is that we try to bring you the most inconceivable. I love that guy. Always one of my favorite guys. Travel news that there is. As always, here's this episode's dose of mashed up avocado just for you. What we call What the Holy Guacamole.
What the holy guacamole are you talking about?
Not one, but two different little tidbits today of What the Holy Guacamole, and they both have to deal with Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines.
Oh.
That's unusual, but hear me out on this. They have to go along with COVID-19.
Hit me to your logics, or hit me to your information.
COVID-19.
Hit me to your knowledges.
Hit me to your COVID-19 information. Here's what happened. The cruise industry got absolutely a shellacking during COVID-19. Suddenly a lot of the fun went out of it. And the cruise industry, bouncing back, trying to reschedule, trying to make things happen. And more importantly, trying to get the customers back online, because you and I, we love cruising.
I know.
Don't know when we'll do it again. I know we will.
Know.
Is it an if we'll do it or a when we'll do it?
I don't know.
You're making that face like...
I do like cruising.
Yes.
Okay. I think for me, if there's a vaccine, I'm more apt to be like, yes, we can cruise again. I don't know when, though. If there's not a vaccine or something gets more out of hand, this is never going to happen
Or if we
again.
get like what they call a herd immunity, where it's like, okay, everybody's it's run its course, like Ebola or SARS or whatever. I still don't
like it.
So we're not a fan of getting sick, and apparently neither are the cruise lines. Royal Caribbean, a couple of items from them. Number one, they may eliminate traditional buffets in the future to prevent illness.
Oh, man.
So remember the all-you-can-eat, where when I go on a cruise line, I pack two things, and one of them is ever-expanding pants. The other one's the ugliest Hawaiian shirt you can imagine, and that's the ensemble. I don't even carry luggage.
My husband, everyone.
I just wear it on like, yeah, see this shirt? It's good for the next 6 days, right?
This is not a lie.
No. Yeah, off the boat in Jamaica, it's like, I don't blend. I don't care. Hey, where's the bar? That's it. I'm sorry. I'm not going on an archaeology expedition. I'm not going to be cultured at the Louvre. I'm on a boat. There's a boat. There's a buffet that needs my ever-expanding pants, right. And by the way, my Hawaiian shirt is floppier than normal Hawaiian shirts. It has extra give, which is smart planning by me. But one of the good things about a cruise is the buffet.
Oh, I know.
You can eat anything you want. I mean, anything you want.
I love a good buffet. Oh my God.
Yeah.
But see, I just like food. And so I like the variety. I love to be, but
I love the trough effect. I love just going, anything I can eat from here for the next 75 yards is fair game, and I can come back. What? Where's the downside in this?
That's why you're not supposed to go to them, though, is because you shouldn't do that.
Who are you sometimes? What?
It goes against everything that I believe to be right in the world. It's just eat your heart out.
If skydiving didn't kill me, a buffet is not going to take this guy out either, okay? So the buffet where you get to wander and occasionally graze. And the good thing about cruise, and we have a whole bunch of cruise shows that we got to do, but the thing about cruise that it's always nice to just look at your betrothed here and say, you know what, honey, it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm going to go up and grab a snack of a plate of nachos. Dinner reservations at 5:30. I'll be back by then. That's not a problem. I'm not changing clothes, clearly.
That's also a very Joey thing. It's so funny.
What? I'm getting my money's. Oh, Royal Cruise Line's going to rue Royal Caribbean's going to rue the day that I got on this boat.
You've got to prime the pump.
Oh, yeah.
Get ready. Dinner's coming.
So they might be replacing their traditional buffets with basically restaurants. So you go in and sit down like a traditional restaurant, and you don't have the intermingling of the buffet charm.
See, I kind of like that, though.
I hate it.
I love a good formal dinner.
No.
I love putting on a dress and getting dolled up.
No.
And then sitting down and having a cocktail. And then going to dinner and being waited on. And here's the specials. And that's the appeal for me also food-wise on a cruise, is that I also don't know, what it's like in my everyday life to actually feel so pampered.
I don't pamper you enough. And my thinking on this is as follows. You know what? I really enjoy getting the that sort of plasticized high school cafeteria tray from third grade, not high school, but elementary school, and just shoving a bunch of food on it, like John Belushi did in Animal House, where it's just you're just shoving food on to the horror and chagrin of everyone near you.
Oh my gosh.
They might get rid of buffets. Number 2 item from Royal Caribbean.
Yeah.
Royal Caribbean has filed a patent application. It's called Seaface. 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 It is a branded version of a face mask to protect passengers and employees on their ships.
Oh.
So if you want to put on a mask or whatever because of COVID or something like that, or just general diseases, cooties, infectious stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
Seaface, Royal Caribbean, is working on that right now. They filed the patent.
That is actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
But it seems kind of awkward.
To be on a cruise? Yeah. I mean, what are your vacation photos going to look like?
I know. That's the only problem. And you can't really say, well, I'll just take it off every time.
No.
Because you cross-contaminate every time you touch something.
Yeah.
You could take it off, lay it down somewhere, touch something, put it back on. Now it's germs near your face again.
But you know, there are people who are going to look at this and go, that's going to be the thing that seals the deal, is there's a patented Seaface thing, and that's going to put them on the boat.
I kind of like it. I mean,
I like the idea.
Yeah.
It's just,
I hate this whole COVID issue.
Yeah, I'm kind of done with COVID.
I am too. We're on day 70.
Couldn't even count. So,
at this point, yeah.
It's been a while, but unfortunately, that's one of the things. So the cruise lines are being impacted, and hopefully, and I for one, I think we both agree on this, I want to see the cruise lines bounce back.
Me too.
I want to get past this. I want to get done with this. I want the cruise lines back. I want airplanes full. I want buffets reopened all over the place. What? No?
You just have to get bigger shirts. That being said,
don't mock my shirt. Hey, as always, gang, thanks for checking out Voca Vacay. We appreciate you stopping in. And remember to keep up with us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and the Instagrams. Sound good?
Instagrams.
That's right. That's the best kind of grams of the Instagrams. We will see you in a fortnight. As always, that is Marie over there.
And that's Frank.
Hey, love you, miss you, mean it. Bye.
Don't forget to click subscribe. As always, hashtag Voca Vacay at Voca Vacay and visit VocaVacay.com.